What's up guys, welcome back to another Black Ops Cold War video. In today's video we are going to be talking about the file sizes for Black Ops Cold War. So today we had the file sizes for every piece of Black Ops Cold War was revealed, as well as the file size totals for each individual platform, because the file size will vary depending on your platform, and a couple other things about Black Ops Cold War as well. So before we get into today's video, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. We've got a lot of great Black Ops Cold War videos on the channel, and we got so much more coming up. And plus we have the new next generation consoles coming out next week. That's absolutely insane, guys. There's going to be a bunch of videos about that, but let's get into this. So firstly, I want to go over the file sizes for each platform, and then we can kind of go into the file size from there. So the file sizes per platform. Spoiler, it's actually pretty big for Cold War, dude. So for the PlayStation 4, the file size for Cold War is going to be 95 gigabytes. Now that's not too bad, but then you gotta think, with Black Ops Cold War, Warzone isn't going to be integrated with Cold War until December, and when that happens, I'm sure the file size is going to jump up like another 50 whatever gigabytes, because it's going to be playing on Modern Warfare's engine, so it basically has to re-download Warzone again. So it's going to add Warzone into Cold War. It's going to be like another 50, maybe 100 gigabytes. So PS4, it's going to be 95 at launch. For the PlayStation 5, it is going to be 133 gigabytes. And once again, this is just the file size at launch, but it's also kind of worrying because the PlayStation 5 only has apparently 667 gigabytes of usable storage. So if you download Cold War, you're only left with 534 gigabytes remaining for any other games you want to play on your PS5. The Xbox One clocks in a little bit smaller than the PS4 version. It's only 93 gigabytes. And then the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S, both versions, will be 136 gigabytes. Now on the Xbox Series X, this isn't too bad because it has about 800 gigabytes of usable space, so you're still going to have like 650 gigabytes for any other games you want to play. But the real issue is for the Xbox Series S. Now this one only has a 512 gigabyte SSD, but the usable space is 346 gigabytes. So after you download Cold War on your Xbox Series S at launch, you're only left with 210 gigabytes remaining for other launch games and any other games you want to play on your Xbox Series X, which honestly isn't a lot. And this is going to take up basically a third of your usable storage on your Xbox Series S. That is insane. And then once again, I'm sure the file size is going to get much larger once they add Warzone, a bunch of DLC, the new zombies maps, all that sort of stuff. And that's just crazy. I mean, do you guys remember back when everyone was saying that file sizes for games are going to decrease when we have SSDs because they don't have to have duplicate files? Well, yeah, no, that's not actually the case, because here we still have 136 gigabytes and we don't even have Warzone in it yet. And now let's talk about the PC version. They have a couple of different requirements here depending on kind of how you want to play the game. They say the minimum specs to play the game, so they say that you're going to need 35 gigabytes available of space if you just want to play multiplayer. But if you want the full game, you're going to need 82 gigabytes. So 82 gigabytes, that is it for PC. And that's surprising considering that the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S versions are 130 gigabytes plus. And this is only 82 on PC, but then it evens out when you want to run the game at Ultra RTX. So they say that if you want to run the game at high FPS in 4K with ray tracing, then you're going to need 125 gigabytes of space available. So there we go. That kind of lines up a little bit more with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X versions, with those ones clocking in once again at 133 and 136, and then PC will be at 125. That is crazy, guys. But now let's take a look at the breakdown of what each mode actually is. So on PlayStation at least, this is where we're getting the file sizes from, is that it says Dead Ops Arcade is a 4.8 gigabyte install. The Campaign Pack 1 is 13.5. Campaign Pack 2 is 17.9, and Campaign Pack 3 is 11.5. All in all, the campaign comes out to 42.9 gigabytes. The Zombies base install is 3.8 gigabytes, which is also kind of interesting. Somebody pointed this out, is that Dead Ops Arcade is actually a bigger file size than D Machine. It's a bigger file size. So what is it, like a bigger map or something like that? How is that a bigger file size than our actual main Zombies map we're going to get to play? And then for multiplayer, our base install is 10.6 gigabytes. Now that's quite a bit different than the PC's minimum for multiplayer only says it's 35 gigabytes. But of course, these are just like the individual packs on PlayStation. Here's where we're getting these numbers. But a quick little side note before we move on, Activision does say that with that 125 gigabytes of space on PC, that it includes the optional high definition asset pack. So it also seems that, I mean, since the PC version is going to be 125 gigabytes, that the Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and PS5 versions will also include that high definition asset pack as well, which I think is going to be pretty cool. I mean, it's probably going to be like ultra textures and stuff like that. And for us to finally get that on console, that's going to be sick. But lastly for this video, I just want to let you guys know that the preloading for Black Ops Cold War on PS4 has started for some people. Now, some people have said that they have actually been able to start preloading Black Ops Cold War by going through like World War II. If you have World War II downloaded on your PS4, if you go into your add-ons for that game, the Cold War add-ons will show up under World War II, and you can just download them there. I myself wasn't able to actually recreate this. There is videos of people doing this on Twitter, but me myself, when I went in there, it just still says that it's like I gotta wait longer and that I can't actually download them. So it did say though that the expected date is for November 5th, which is, I mean, tomorrow, so it's not a very long wait. But we're still going to have, you know, like a week to preload the game, which is still should be plenty of time. But I just want to let you guys know that some people are able to do it. And if you can, make sure you guys just go ahead and just start preloading it right now. And get that all downloaded, get it all set up, and get prepared because next week, I mean, it's going to be really exciting. We got the next generation Xboxes, the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X. And then we also got the PS5 and of course Cold War. It's going to be a crazy week. I'm really excited, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys are new around here, subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you guys don't miss out. That's going to do it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.